Hello everybody and welcome back again to Deus Ex Human Revolution. Okay, so we spent pretty much the entire last episode exploring this building and looking into offices and reading people's mails, and it was all very informative. But I think it's time to move on, at least for the time being. I mean, I will be back here, I'm sure, and I can look at other offices and talk to other people. But I think I want to know what's going on outside of this building now. So let's try to find the exit. I'm going to assume it's over here. And maybe we can start to work on some of our quests. Okay, have I not seen this before?
The objective screen details your current missions and objectives. In here, you can find extra information that may help you better understand what needs to be done. Missions can be activated or deactivated, depending on if you want them to appear in your radar or not. Deactivated missions can still be completed.
Okay, well, that's pretty straightforward. But yeah, let's have a look outside.
Mrs. Reed?
Adam, I'm sorry you startled me. And please, call me Cassandra. You and Megan were together long enough. I was waiting for you.
Out here? Why not come meet me inside?
I don't know. I guess I'm just not ready. This is where you work, but to me, this is also the place where I lost my daughter.
Okay, so she's the mother of Megan, who died in the prologue of the game, right? I guess I never thought of it that way. I know what you mean. I try not to think about it. Well, let's be sympathetic here. It seems like the right thing to do.
I know what you mean. It's never been the same for me either.
I guess it's not meant to be easy. It seems there's just no right way to deal with something like this. And I can't even begin to imagine how things have been for you after all you've been through.
Yeah. A lot of things changed 6 months ago.
I can't get over how much they've changed you. At first, I couldn't even believe you were still alive. How do you handle all of this?
That's a good question. I never ask for this. I do what I have to do, augmented or not. They did what they had to do to save me. Well, I suppose it's all true, sort of. I mean, he did not ask for it, but they saved his life by doing it. So, since we can't change it now, we may as well try to adapt to it and, just do our job, I suppose.
I do what I have to do, augmented or not.
You seem very pragmatic, Adam. Maybe you should be careful not to trivialize such traumatic changes.
Can I ask why you wanted to see me?
Yes, of course. I'm sorry. I'm here about Megan. About what happened to her. Or rather, about the investigation into what happened.
What about it?
Well, simply put, I feel something is not quite right with the way the case was handled.
You think there was some foul play involved?
I do. Call it mother's intuition. But when speaking to some of the investigators, there were a lot of inconsistencies. And then I met this detective, a man called Chase. He agreed things weren't handled by the book, although he has no proof.
And now you want to find out more?
I'll never hear my daughter laugh again, Adam. I'll never get a call from her to ask how I've been, or have the chance to ask her about her day. She was stolen from me. However unjustified this all is, I still want to know why it happened. You're not the same, Adam. And we've yet to see if it's for better or worse. But I know you loved Megan. Please, will you help me find out what really happened to her?
Well, that seems like a worthy cause. Can I get some details, maybe? Oh, I can just ask for a reward. Well, that seems really cold. I mean, that one guy wasn't exactly happy when we asked for a reward, and this seems even worse. So, yeah, no, I'm not going to ask for a reward this time. Yeah, sure, I will look into it.
I never got a chance to investigate the attack myself. I'll look into it.
Thank you. This means the world to me, Adam. Really.
The first thing I'll need to do is meet with this detective, Chase.
Good. He works part-time as a security guard in an apartment building on Brooklyn Court. I'll be waiting for you in your apartment lobby once you're done.
Why does a detective need to work part-time as a security guard?
Oh, he retired soon after the case. I don't really know the details. Maybe he'll tell you more.
I'm on it.
Okay, here we go. We got another quest, and we are now free to move around. Let me have a look at my quest journal. So I have 2 main missions, visiting the limb clinic and investigating the suicide terrorist. And as usual, I think I don't want to postpone the main missions for that long. Since we're still early in the game, I feel it's a good idea to, advance the story a little bit and then maybe take a break later to do some of the side quests. And we already have like 3 of them. Right, we are supposed to meet with that guy whose wife we saved. This is about the investigation into Megan's death. And this is about the neuropathy theft. Do I have a map? Yes, I do. Okay. So I'm over here. The limb clinic is not that far away, so this might be a good place to go to first. This is where I can meet Greg Thorpe. Tyndall's apartment is over here. And this is a police station. But I have at least one more side quest. I think it's also supposed to be somewhere in the downtown apartments. Doesn't exactly show on my map. But yeah, maybe I'm just going to walk around a little bit, talk to some people, and then I think going to the limb clinic first might be a good idea.
Jensen, right? I've heard about you. Yeah, you were a good cop by most accounts. But you're lucky you got out.
Okay, why? Care to elaborate?
Look at the force now. Our badges mean nothing. We've got no authority.
Okay, I see. Oh, and she's over here now, Cassandra Reed.
Have you found anything? Please. I've got to know what really happened to Megan.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it.
I think that's about it.
All right. Let's talk to a few people.
My neighbors were there when it happened, the hostage taking at the Seraph plant. Greg and Josie Thorpe. Do you know them? Oh, thank God they made it out alive.
I do know them, and they made it out alive thanks to me.
Mr. Jensen, is it true that the leader of the terrorist cell got away? Guess you weren't as ready as Mr. Seraph thought.
But I saved the hostages.
They released his name, Zeke Sanders. Apparently a veteran of some sort. Now we get to worry about who or what he'll attack next.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, I can search through the trash. Well, apparently someone threw some credits away. I'll take them.
I don't really have anything against it. I just think it's disgusting. I mean, grafting metal into your skin?
Yuck. I guess you don't have any tattoos.
It's not the same. You don't need to take drugs for the rest of your life when you have a tattoo.
Well, I think what you do to your body is up to you.
Yeah? Well, when everybody's done doing what they want, what happens to people like us who refuse to become machines? We become the weaker species, that's what. And the next thing you know, we'll be the ones living in derelict row.
Wow, you really don't have an opinion on this, do you?
Well, I think it is sort of a valid opinion. It's definitely more valid than it's disgusting or whatever. I mean, personally, I don't really have a problem with the purely scientific side of the augmentation process. Because, I mean, that is stuff that you can evaluate and calculate and test, and then you can look at the advantages and the disadvantages and decide whether, it increases quality of life, and then you can do it or not. So I don't really see a problem here, and I don't think it's disgusting just because, it's not like biological or whatever. I mean, my grandfather lived like half his life with artificial heart valves. So it wasn't like a completely artificial heart, but parts of it were, implanted. And he lived to an age of 83, so pretty long. And he certainly wouldn't have lived that long without these artificial implants. And incidentally, he also had to take medicine for the rest of his life, basically a blood thinner, to make sure that the blood doesn't clog up the artificial heart valves. And it kind of had the side effect that it made him a bit hemophilic, so he had to be careful about cutting himself and stuff like that. But still, in the long run, it increased his quality of life and most certainly his lifespan. So he certainly didn't regret it, having that operation. And I feel it is not really that different. It's also, artificial stuff that you put in your body to help you, have a better life. So I don't have a problem with the scientific side of this, not at all. I do see the potential of social problems. I've spoken about this like 2 episodes ago. So if people can just buy enhancements and those people who can't afford them have problems competing, I can see that that is a problem, but it's disgusting is not really a good argument.
The biomod industry is going to tear this city apart, mark my words.
Okay.
Not everyone can afford augments, and those who can't are going to find themselves on the streets before they know it.
Well, that's an interesting argument too.
I'm sorry. We're having a private conversation here.
But I want to join in. It's an interesting conversation.
Look, I don't have anything against you, but just stay away, okay?
Okay. I don't have anything against you, but stay away. That makes perfect sense.
Tell me something. How can anyone justify protesting at a limb clinic? They're helping people, for Christ's sakes. Besides, protesting never got anybody anywhere. It's all just a big distraction. You take all their energy and put it to something useful, then you could really change the world.
Okay, some interesting viewpoints here.
Okay, you seem nice and all, but I'm really not interested.
I'm just trying to join the discussion.
Sorry.
Alright, I guess I'll take my leave. And I think I can't actually go down here. So let's take this route.
You believe it? We had the place surrounded, and we were ordered to hang back. Since when do we take orders from David Sarif?
Maybe there was some hazardous material they were worried about.
More like there was something illegal in there that they wanted the rent-a-cop to get rid of. We should have never let that guy in.
I thought Jensen did okay. He helped save the hostages.
He got lucky.
Thank you, anonymous police officer guy. Okay, there's still a lot of different opinions about my involvement in that hostage situation, it seems. So, let's see, what do we got here? Maybe I'm going to have a look at this place of the map first, because it's a dead end. So, let's see what we can find
I
here.
can't believe this whole hostage thing. Terrorists on our own soil?
I know, and that guy Taggart claiming he has no connection? I don't believe that for a second.
I heard he's going to make a speech at the convention center. That's like when the NRA went to Columbine after the second time.
Moses himself, coming to free us from the evil pharaoh, Seraph II.
Yeah. Well, let's hope for a plague on all the humanity front houses. Hey, Adam, didn't see you there. You heading home for the evening, or does Mr. Seraph have you looking into something new?
Sort of, yes.
Can't talk about it. Right. Well, just take care of yourself, okay?
Well, he doesn't really talk much in general, huh?
Adam, nice look you got going on there. You must be hitting the clubs tonight.
If only.
No rest for the weary in this city, I guess.
But if you can suggest a nice club, then I'm going to check it out. Why not have some relaxation? But until then, I'm just going to look through all the trash cans, I guess.
Imagine. William Taggart, right here in Detroit. What a great man. I know some people question his motivation, but I think he's only looking out for the little people. Look, companies want profits, now. They don't care about the effects their products might have in 10, 20 years. I know my history. Just look at the tobacco industry.
Well, I guess that's a valid point. But yeah, the whole augmentation issue seems to be the talk of the town. People don't really seem to talk about anything else. Well, this is a very shady back road. Not sure if I feel safe here. I'll take the beer though. So, who are you?
Thanks for at least talking to me. Most people just walk on by like I'm invisible. They've made it practically illegal to be poor in this city.
Hobo. Well, I tend to talk to everyone, but I'm glad you appreciate it.
Bastard Sarah's buying up whole blocks and upscaling them. Where the hell are we gonna go? California? The whole West Coast is gonna be underwater in another few years.
Okay. Why? Global warming? Probably. Yeah, I mean, this just seems to be a dead end. Nothing much going on here, so let's leave for now. But this city seems eerily empty. I mean, we have a few people walking around, but it's kind of creepy for some reason.
You ever get the feeling you're being watched?
No?
I don't know. All these cameras and chips and stuff everywhere. How do you know they're not tracking you or something? Fear Big Brother, man.
Well, I guess that's actually a good point. I mean, they may be able to track me with all the stuff they put in my head. Ooh, I'll take more stuff out of the trash.
I mean it, man. Get lost.
Okay, relax.
I don't mean to judge, but I think that people who choose to augment themselves are rejecting their own humanity.
Okay.
They don't understand that it's our limitations that make us human.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I believe in the Purist Manifesto. I don't really agree with that, to be honest. I mean, humanity as a species basically made a career out of overcoming its limitations by artificial means. Starting from the first Stone Age man who picked up a stone and another stone and then made a tool to hunt or whatever. And everything we've done since then is basically that. It's sort of our evolutionary niche, you know. We're not very fast or strong. So what do? We kinda cheat. We make weapons and then use it to kill animals that are much faster and stronger than we are. And we are not like super cold resistant or heat resistant, so we make clothes and build houses to protect us against the environment. And I mean, humans aren't exactly biologically designed to fly, right? Yet we do it. It's a limitation we've overcome by, you know, using planes. And no one would argue that we reject our humanity because we bought a plane, right? And sure, I can understand that it's a little bit different if you use external technologies as opposed to stuff that you actually put inside your body. But that's not really the argument they make. They just say, you know, we have to be limited because that's what's making us human, and that doesn't really seem to be a very rational argument because we've always tried to overcome limitations with the help of tools of all sort. So, like I said, I can understand some of these social arguments and the social problems that come from augmentation. But some arguments just seem to be based on, you know, gut feeling and emotion rather than, you know, rational thought, like this one. Oh, we have a new newspaper apparently. Hostage rescued at Seraph manufacturing plant. Tragedy was averted in Milwaukee Junction this evening as Detroit SWAT team swept through the Seraph Industries manufacturing plant, freeing workers from pro-human extremists who had been holding them hostage for several hours. It could have been a bloodbath, commanded Sergeant Neil Townsend, chief of the tactical unit, but we encountered very little resistance. The operation was a complete success. Townsend's words stand in stark contrast to eyewitness accounts criticizing his team for reacting too slowly. The SWAT team sure took their sweet time. They stood around for hours, like they were afraid to move or something, said an unidentified man. Townsend's department is still deflecting blame for mishandling a similar standoff 2 years ago in Mexican Town, when a SWAT team killed a 15-year-old teen, igniting a citywide riot. Oh, this must be the incident that Adam talked about earlier, right? Because that's why he left the police. Okay, so we get some info on that. Anti-Orc terrorist at large. The mastermind behind today's hostage-taking at Seraph Industries is on the loose. He is being hunted by local, state and federal law enforcement agencies. A decorated ex-Marine, Ezekiel Zeke Sanders, is the leader of a group of militant pro-human activists known as Purity First. Okay, so news has spread about the hostage situation.
Why do some people feel they could just walk up to anyone and start yapping? Shove off, mister.
I don't know, I just like to do that.
Don't you understand English? I said, get lost.
Okay, I'm on my way. Apparently this person already took all the stuff from the trash.
Well, shit.
Oh.
If it ain't the captain himself. Mr. Seraph done fixed you up good, ain't he? Give you a new set of glasses and everything. Damn.
How you doing, Letitia?
Didn't think I'd see you walking this boulevard anytime soon, that's for sure. Not after what happened 6 months ago. People said you's down for the count.
People tend to underestimate me.
You and me both, Captain. You and me both. You got any credit you could spare?
Well, how about you give me some information and then we'll see. Or you can get a beer. Well, sure. Give me some information.
How about you give me some information, and then we'll see.
Oh, damn, Captain. You ain't no cop no more. Why you gotta insist on using them rules?
Because it's my money this time, not the department's. You want it, you better give me something that's worth it.
Yeah, I guess. So what you wanna know?
Well, let's see. Weapons. Where would a less than exemplary citizen go if he needed to acquire some unlicensed firepower? Okay, let's ask it.
It's been a while since I walked the beat. Where would a less than exemplary citizen go these days if he needed to acquire some unlicensed firepower?
Well now, I hear there might be a gun seller or two around town. But an adventuring man, especially one fixed with some of them fancy techno-limbs Mr. Seraph makes, he might be able to acquire a few more if he's willing to go the extra mile.
Okay. Oh, I can pay her now. This better be worth it. Tell me about this extra mile. That's a lot of money though. I'm not sure if I even have that much money. And if I do, it's certainly not a lot more. So I'm not sure if I want to pay it all for some info on weapons merchants. I don't know. Maybe I can come back later and ask her again once I have more money. I would rather save my money for now. So, tell me about the city mood instead.
You've always had a good feel for this city, Tish. What's the mood on the street these days?
Oh, things ain't looking good, Captain. People losing their jobs, their homes, locking everything they's own into those garage door storage units round town, hoping nobody breaks in and steals stuff. Mr. Seraph gonna save us? He better do it soon.
Or what?
Not sure. Just feels like this whole city's waiting to explode. Especially in the alleys behind the gas station. Most of the time, you's fine walking there, long as you don't cause no trouble. But you do something wrong, well, cops and punks both trigger happy these days.
Okay, well, thank you for that observation. So, no any secret path?
I might need to do a little trespassing soon. Maybe get inside some places where I'd rather not be seen going in.
You being kind of vague, Captain, but maybe it's best I don't know the Pacifics.
You got that right.
Pacifics?
What I do know, though, is that most people tend to look down, not up. And even when looking down, they don't necessarily think about what's under their feet. If a person ain't too squeamish about getting dirty, they might be able to get inside one of the more sensitive areas in the city. Especially if they arm themselves ahead of time with the right information.
Okay, so I have to pay for this information as well. Well, I might come back with that. But I mean, what I gather from this is that I should look up and down. So I can do that. Yeah, anyway, thank you for that. Have a beer.
Here. It's not credits, but...
Mighty kind, Captain. Mighty kind.
Okay, yeah, I might come back to get some info from her, but I think for now that's enough.
I think I've got all the information I need right now, Tish. Maybe next time.
I'll be right here waiting for you, Captain.
Okay, well, so... interesting conversations here. By the way, how much money do I have exactly? Well, I have about 4,000 credits, so I could buy both of the highest level information, but I'm not sure if I want to spend all of it already. So, again, I might return later for that. But yeah, it seems that the limb clinic is over here, so maybe I'm going to make my way over to that place and continue with that part of the quest. It seems to be the building here. Okay, this is just the same again.
The good Lord made you in his own image. Why would you desecrate yourself?
Well, technically I didn't do it myself, but...
Don't you realize that the only thing you need in this world is his love?
No, I think I haven't realized that yet. Right, let's have a look at the clinic.
I approve of these protests. These limb people are drug pushers. Someone is getting rich while the rest of us are suffering.
I wouldn't know about those things. All I know is that this violence doesn't serve anyone.
Well, I guess the question now becomes, will the pro-human groups retaliate when Bill Taggart gets here?
He's that Humanity Front guy, right?
He's speaking at the convention center in a few days.
That's gonna be a day from hell.
Probably.
Sorry, bud. The protest broke up hours ago. There's nothing to see here anymore.
You look like you're built for trouble. Listen, just because you have money doesn't make you better than me.
I never said it does. Okay, let's have a look inside here.
Mr. Jensen, David Seraph told me you'd be dropping by. I've just been reviewing the test results we received on you last week.
Should I start rolling up my sleeves?
Surprisingly, no. I see no trace of glial tissue buildup in any of your charts.
It's been 6 months, Doc. Shouldn't I be under opposite shots by now?
One would think, but these test results show no signs of implant rejection. If anything, the bond between tissue and electrodes seems to be getting stronger.
So I'm free to go?
Well, Mr. Seraph did ask me to discuss another topic with you. You are aware that several precautionary measures had to be put into place during your first surgery?
Not all of my implants were switched on, I know.
The damage caused by the hematoma had to be taken into account. Your brain needed time to recover, to get used to the mechanical neural processors and turn them on naturally over time.
Cut to the chase, Doc. What does Seraph want?
He feels that you might be ready to speed up the activation process using special software known as Praxis kits.
You mean I don't have to wait for my augmentations to kick in naturally anymore?
You can, if you prefer. But Mr. Seraph did make a generous donation to LIM in your name, thus ensuring that Praxis software linked to your particular neuroenhancements would always be available to you and you alone. Please, take a look.
Okay, so I can buy some items here. Anyway, it's a kind of interesting in-game explanation for the skill menu and level up process. You know, I have those augmentations, but I can't activate them all at the same time. And yeah, I have a lot more money now, so let's see what I can buy. Typhoon ammo. I'm honestly not entirely sure what the Typhoon does. Hyperstim. Cyber Boost Pro Energy Jar. And the Praxis kit. We have 2, so I can buy at least 1. Sure, let's buy 1 of them. And maybe let's see what the other stuff is doing. Replenish 3 energy cells in full. I mean, this stuff... Oh, I don't have enough room. Gain a temporary increase of 50 health points up to a maximum of 200. I can buy that stuff. Kill enemies in a 360 degrees arc. Prerequisite Typhoon explosive system augmentation. Of course, you know, if I wanna stay non-lethal, I wouldn't really need that, right?
Very well, Mr. Jensen. Use it in good health.
Okay, so I have some available Praxis points now. I think I actually still have some from my last level up. Yes, I have 3 of them now. So let's see what I want to do with it. I can get the social enhancer for 2 points. And I also might want to invest some stuff into better hacking. This would be 1 point. I mean, I kind of want to get one of these upgrades soonish so that I can take down more people. But I guess for the time being, I'm going to go with a social enhancer. Might come in handy. And some increased hacking. Hack level 2 terminals. Yes, I think this is the one that I want. Because most terminals that I've found, for example in Seraph Industries, are level 2. So I will need this sooner or later, I'm sure. Okay, so we leveled up a little bit. But we can look around a bit this place too.
Nice jacket. I bet you're hiding some real cutting-edge enhancements under it, aren't you?
Maybe?
My ex-boyfriend was a pro-human purist. The bastard. Dumped his ass as soon as I figured out what he was.
Well, apparently this whole controversy is even destroying relationships.
Have you had a lot of work done here in Detroit? This is the first time I've actually had the guts to walk in the door. It's a big step. But I've wanted to do this for ages.
I'm just here to get my prescription updated. Ran out of neuropazine last week. Thought I could just order up a refill, but I have to see a doctor first.
Okay.
Maybe one day they'll find a way to prevent implant rejections once and for all.
Well, yeah, apparently, Adam doesn't take neuropazine because he has no signs of rejection, so that is interesting.
I'm just getting a minor neuroprosthetic upgrade, but even so, it's stressful. Of course, it helps knowing my vision will improve when it's done.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
Did you hear about the protest? If we listened to them, we'd be living in the dark ages. They're just afraid of what they don't understand. That leads to self-protection. And defense always evolves into offense. Always.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of the arguments I heard are based more on emotions than on rational thought. But I think there are also some good, rational reasons to question this process. Building Wings, A Better Tomorrow by David Sarif. Where we risk allowing our technology to divide us is in the very question of regulation. Some would argue that augmentation, which by its nature is a mechanism whereby humans can transcend their limitations, cannot be allowed to be freely available. While on the surface such calls for regulation might be seen as a reasonable response, in the long term such stigmatization will work against our society. We already live in a culture of haves and haves not, those rich or poor in terms of money, those impoverished or affluent in terms of data and knowledge. To willfully blockade the spread of human augmentation technologies will add another category, those who are human and those who are transhuman. And as we speak here of futures where transhumanism must be the normative, can we willingly allow some of us to be left behind? Yeah, but the question is if not having regulations actually prevents that. I mean, that's the real problem, right? Liberate yourself, let us help. Liberate in Mind and Body International is an international humanitarian organization dedicated to the care and welfare of augmented people around the world. We are the leading advocate and healthcare provider for human enhancement technology, with nearly 2,000 clinics serving the needs of over 8 million people every year. Founded in 2011 by Dr. Hayden Seong, formerly of Darrow Industries, our credo is augmentation for all. 100% independent of corporate and national control, LIM's mission statement is no less than to offer full and equal access to human enhancement products and technologies across every global border and class in society. Our international network of low-cost medical mechanical clinics cater exclusively to augmented people, and they can be found in every major city, offering everything from routine cybernetic maintenance, checkups and consultancy through to full operating theaters with complete augmentation implantation facilities. Well, I mean, this sounds very good. However, I seem to remember that one of the info terminals in Sarif Industries specifically stated that they are supporting and working with the limb clinics, so I'm not sure if they are really that independent as they claim.
Nice jacket. I bet you're hiding some real cutting-edge enhancements under it, aren't you?
I'm not exactly sure what kind of enhancements you are hoping for, but fair enough.
Before. Is it true they stop your heart and the machine does your breathing?
More or less. I know it sounds a little hair-raising, but we do it every day, several times over. It's a very safe procedure.
Will I feel any pain or anything?
It gets done through your IV needle. You'll be asked to count backwards, and the next thing you know, you'll be opening your eyes and the procedure will be over.
Wow. Will I dream?
Not while you're under, but you might afterward as you wake up.
Okay.
If you're here for some work, please go to the counters.
I think I'm fine, thank you. I'm just looking around a little bit. Oh, I see. This is one of the operating rooms. Oh, you don't have very good computer security here either. From Magoulis. Oh, this is the secretary of David Sarif. Let's start to read from the bottom. Mrs. Magoulis, of course I appreciate Mr. Sarif's support, which is why I will do my best to explain to my patient exactly what this generous gift entails. But that is as far as I will go. From now on, whatever augmentations he decides to acquire will be his choice and his alone. The patient and not the employer will be one to decide whether a half-tested prototype augmentation should be included with all the others or not. Sincerely, Vera Markovich, Limb International. I believe you have misconstrued Mr. Sarif's intent, Vera. He only wanted you to give He only wanted you to give your patient some general medical advice. Athene Magoulis. Yeah, again, this kind of raises the question how independent they really are, huh? Attention all staff. An inspection team from the World Health Organization will be paying a visit to your limb clinic within the next week or so in order to evaluate conditions there. Please ensure that everything is properly prepared for their inspection. When they arrive, treat them with courtesy, but continue about your business and do not interfere. In anticipation of the visit, all employees must ensure that WHO guidelines are being followed to the letter at all times. Bear in mind that any negative evaluation will severely infringe upon your clinic's ability to solicit funding. Thank you for your understanding. Oh, this is about me. Jensen Adam, blood O negative, no allergies, family history unknown, adopted age 5, no papers. Okay, that's interesting. Didn't know that. Has demonstrated healing ability greater than 2 standard deviations above the mean in the following: speed of recovery, repossession of faculties, post-traumatic memory retention. Unusually large quantities of NGF appearing around implantation sites. Unique autoimmune disorder may indicate you will not require neuropathy injections anytime soon. Apparently so. 1 previous operation 6 months ago, life-critical, requiring full replacement of chest cavity and left arm. Right arm and legs replaced at behest of employee. Authority granted under terms of employment contract. Oh, okay, I see. So they made more changes than they actually had to save his life. I see. Recovery speed being unknown at the time. Patient was also pre-fitted with PDOT biochips in all areas of possible neuroprosthetic insertion to reduce need for physiotherapy following any subsequent enhancement surgeries. Okay, well, some pretty interesting information here. But I think that's all I can do here for the moment. And we have some stuff about how the eye is working. I think I'm going to read this one off camera because the episode is getting kind of long, so I'm going to make a cut here. And yeah, maybe in the next episode we can actually start to have a look at some of our other quests, maybe the main mission. Maybe I'm going to investigate one of the side quests before I continue with the main one. We'll see. But yeah, as usual, thank you for watching and see you again next time.